physical payments networks with the digital ones. When you send a payment, it's about sending love. People are going to look at payments in a lot more different way than we're currently looking at today. And it's going to be a lot more community-based. And I think that it's going to be integrated with every part of our lives. And, embedded finance is just the first step towards that.
Hey folks, Flo here with Blockchain North, Consensus Day number 2. I'm here with Anthony of MoneyGram. And I have to say, I didn't expect to interview someone from MoneyGram. My perception is like of a global remittances business, a little bit similar to Western Union. Why don't you tell us why you're here at Consensus?
Yeah, so at MoneyGram, one of the things people don't realize is we're actually one of the world's largest global payments network. If you think about all the places we reach, we have over 5 billion digital endpoints, close to 500 million physical retail locations. And I joined as CEO about 6 months ago. My background is actually in tech, retail. And one of the things that attracted me to the opportunity was the opportunity to really rethink the MoneyGram as a company and the amazing, unique assets that we have. And we're going through what I would call our refounding moment. And the big thing about our refounding moment is that we want to be a tech-driven, developer-led global payments network that allows the world to be able to connect the physical payments networks with the digital ones. And we have a really important role as a part of that. We just launched something we called MoneyGram Ramps about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, let me pause you here just for a second. We'll talk about the on-ramps in a second, but just to contextualize this conversation a little bit, what you're doing right now, this sort of transition, this blockchain transition, is that something that you're pretty unique in doing in your space? If I think about, for example, Western Union or others, or would you say is the whole payment space kind of like starting to onboard blockchain technology?
I would say everyone has different opinions about it, but I do think when I think about blockchain and I think about stablecoin, I think it's everything from back office supply chain of how we do treasury, all the way to how the consumers receive payments. So when we look at the end-to-end flow of beginning of cash in, all the way to how we manage and do pre-funds or send money across the world, to how the person gets cash out and enabling transactions, we see a role for blockchain and stablecoin in every part of that process. So I think that perspective is pretty unique. And the fact that we're not trying to be a closed network, we're trying to be very open and opening up for all the developers where anyone can access us, I think is a very unique value proposition.
Because you must know, I don't think it's any sort of breaking news that, in the crypto space, when people say Western Union, I've never heard MoneyGram, but when people say Western Union, it's usually to say, that we're there to displace Western Union because it's so expensive and ripping off, people sending money home, right? So if you're standing out, you're actually maybe kind of seeing the lights, basically.
Well, so first, I can see why people traditionally would have views about something like that, but one of the things I would say that's really important for everyone, including your audience, to understand is the world's going to get better, and we're going to be able to get to our destination quicker if we can figure out how to tie everything together. And there's like 1.4 billion people that don't have access to digital financial currency right now. And our goal is to fix it. And our goal actually at MoneyGram, if people can keep the funds in, the ultimate goal is to make the cost as low as possible, where we're trying to drive it down to basically zero if we can keep it within the network, which I think is a different outlook than many people have had in the past.
Yeah, and it's totally in line with the crypto ethos. I have to say, I was almost going to laugh because I just saw a cleaner come by with like a trolley and my colleague almost collapsing.
This is like real time.
Real time. This is like live TV. Not quite live. Tell us about your collaboration with Stellar.
Yeah, so we use the Stellar blockchain, and they are a great partner of ours. And one of the things that we do is that they have been invested in and have had a relationship with MoneyGram since about 3 years ago.
Okay.
And so, but they are really the part of the blockchain that we're using for this on-off ramp right now that we just launched 2 weeks ago. And we believe is that over time, they've been great partners. We want to do a lot more with them as we think about the future. And obviously, as an open network, we're going to look at other options as well. But Stellar definitely is one of our most preferred and deepest partnerships that we have.
Tell us a little bit more about those future plans in the crypto space. I'd like to know a bit more.
Well, what I would say is that maybe I gave a hint to it, but I don't want to give up too much because maybe I can come back and tell you guys more.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I would say is that we're looking across end to end of how we actually do settlement, how we do run our actual business is going to be on stablecoin. I believe that when we think about our future, there's going to be a lot of different payout options that are going to be dependent, and we want to be coin agnostic. And so if we do that on our open network, I think that there will be more options and we'll bring more people onto this world that we are both so bullish about.
Final question, looking into the future, given your background in tech and retail, you had mentioned Walmart, and now your role at MoneyGram, which is obviously a global company.
I started my career at Apple, which has taught me everything for what I'm doing.
Well, there you go. Apple, MoneyGram, Walmart, I mean, these are all big names. Kind of a big footprint, exposure to a lot of trends. Where do you think payments will be in 20 years from now?
I think it'll be frictionless, and I do think that what will happen is the idea of just having a bank account and that being the primary source is going to be a lot different.
Yeah.
I believe that every community might end up, where accounts and payments are going to be set up, and they're going to be centered really around much more community, much more social. I think if you think about it, my personal feeling, and this is why I'm so bullish on our MoneyGram, because it's built into our name, which is it's about when you send a payment, it's about sending love. And I do think that people are gonna look at payments in a lot more different way than we're currently looking at today, and it's gonna be a lot more community based. And I think that it's going to be integrated with every part of our lives, and embedded finance is just the first step towards that.
Maybe a final word on AI, since we haven't touched on AI, and it seems like the elephant in the room for pretty much everything related to tech, to business, to our world, really, our societies. What role will AI play into all that?
Well, I think it's going to be a strong partner for every part of payments. I know a lot of things that are interesting right now is people are thinking about AI as it's a discrete thing. I think it's just going to be part of technology, just like we have a phone or it's just going to be part of the stack. The thing I'm really interested in, excited about, is the idea of agentic commerce, because where you're going to get to is you can tell an agent to basically say, hey, I want to set up and throw a birthday party for my son, and it's going to take care of everything for you, and you just look at the list. And then what we want to do there is just make the idea of sending payments to be really cost efficient, seamless, transparent, and cheap or low cost.
Maybe a final thought, since we're standing here in Canada. Where does Canada fit in your global business and expansion plans? And
we love Canada. I mean, I think the food here in Toronto has just been absolutely amazing.
It is really good. It's true.
I've been blown away. Number two is we see it as, while it feels like it's a global country, it also feels very local to us, because I do see there's just so many similarities from where we're from.
Of course.
And the thing I think Canada really gets right is the idea of how inclusive it is in terms of welcoming people. And I do think that as you think about this community, that's what it's all about, is being inclusive and making sure we're leaving no one behind.
I love it. Thank you very much, Anthony. Pleasure speaking with you.